Ashtar Command, Behavior in the Federation. Received by Neva Gabriel. Greetings from the command. Much is said, in environments more integrated with the reality of our existence, about our behavior amid conflicting situations and the clash of different ideas. Naturally, this is also an agenda item that will be inserted into the first ranks of obligations when we can finally work together for the improvements on the planet. Diplomacy is something we genuinely value. There are countless races throughout the cosmos and, more intimately, in the galaxy where Earth exists, there are many groups with whom we have debated extensively about certain issues in the planet's development plan. There are always meetings about important topics, concerning what can already be implemented or not, in the tone of planetary ascension, considering the numerous variables due to the constantly and fervently adjusting level of planetary consciousness. The difference is that in these meetings, there is no disrespect, rudeness, or raising of voices with tones of oppression, insult, or imposition. There are always disagreements and agreements, and naturally, when a harmonious consensus is reached, we move on to the next topic. There is always a fondness and a genuine desire for collaboration. Hierarchy and behavior in the Federation. Those who have greater expansion and light are always among the main advisors and direct instructors, because although the hierarchy is not as it often is on Earth, aboard our ships and meeting centers, there are counselors who are hierarchically respected and honored, like teachers and executive directors of divine plans. Even though the human mind struggles to understand certain dynamics in our organizations and how we deal with certain situations, respect, diplomacy, and honor towards the hierarchy are fundamental points for the minimum harmonious coexistence in our federation. Understand that when we talk about hierarchy, we are not talking about superiors ordering inferiors, we are talking about a field where naturally the understanding of the source is broader, and there is unconditional respect for this in our environments. Clearly, no one needs to dictate rules and orders, as there is a natural consensus where everyone knows very well their role and how far they can go. In meetings, this is always very clear and evident, and even though they exist and are sometimes heated when it comes to the Earth agenda, it's never like your minds might imagine, considering the earthly reality where many have a thirst for power and control over others. Even though we know our role and have our responsibilities assured within us, listening to our superiors is always a moment of great joy and jubilation, as we are in constant learning and open to our development. There is always mutual partnership, and even in disagreements, there is respect and brotherhood, and never, under any circumstances, oppression, aggression, imposition, disloyalty, or desire for power. There is a dynamic of speaking and listening. In our debates, there is never verbal or vibrational interruption, because this clearly indicates two things: a desire for domination or fear. As you enter a new phase and we, as your space friends, seek to collaborate, we enter a synergy. You begin to understand the need for diplomacy for good coexistence. The need to understand the dynamics between boss and leader will be very evident in the daily life of a new society forming from this point, simply because true leadership is that which genuinely inspires, not just by speaking and giving orders, but by example and goodwill, leading others to a conduct that is always forward-thinking, uplifting, and inspiring. If you want to know about good leadership, notice if it guides you to be better people on all possible levels or just uses you to meet their more personal needs, often through machinery generating paper money. A real leader has developed deep empathy when they never oppress but set an edifying example and conduct based on moral and spiritual values. Therefore, in the emerging new society, boss will only exist in the Akashic records of planetary history, replaced by transformative leaders. Challenges and the need for change. This topic is something that will still make many roll their eyes because messing with patterns and values rooted in a need for power to be is challenging. As we have announced, Our arrival will not only bring joy to those who know our real intentions but will shake the structures of beliefs and understanding of things, because we are not coming first for a party, we are coming first to help organize the house for it. Of course, organizing the house, yes, but never without the residents participating in the organization, and some will not want to change some things around, which will naturally be understandable, considering eons of moral rigidity, but it will be inevitable due to the time for change having arrived, when the house's regent, Gaia, needs to heal. We hope that our presence and the opening of our books of conduct will facilitate the understanding of what you really have as tasks on the planet, as well as expand your comprehension of love, of true cosmic and fraternal love, when you can finally, again, associate with the Federation, possessing internally true ethics, diplomacy, and brotherhood, thus ensuring your certification to travel the universe with us, assisting civilizations in development. And this is part of your future, for this is what we do today. It is an immense joy for us to collaborate and serve the Creator throughout the cosmos. We are in constant rejoicing for this. Friends, we know how much your freedom has been curtailed and how you could better understand life on Earth and even in the universe, but at the same time as you went through all that, you also demonstrated your strength, which never abandoned you. This is what brought us closer to you when, in the mid-80s, we began to arrive more effectively at the request of cosmic directors. Yes, we also know there is still much resistance about us and our messages, as well as whether they are truly authentic. Friends, these messages state truths that have often been denied to you by many and other sources. And they stir you because your souls recognize them as truthful. Resuming development and the end of domination the way you have been treated over the last 26,000 years has significantly undermined your ability to discern what is and isn't, as well as you have been deceived by many who dressed as leaders but were merely non-federated enforcers of enslavement. The time of freedom echoes in the bells of discernment, and you are now taking back the lead in your own development, when those who imprisoned you are in retreat upon realizing their time of domination has ended. You will still see, for a short time, scenarios that seem like everything continues as before, but we can assure you it's quite the opposite. The more chaos and threats you perceive now, the more you will know they are just the howls of old wolves trying to regroup the pack, even the herd, to stay in the lead, but the helm is already under our jurisdiction, and there's nothing that can be done to take back the reins. This is an official message from the Ashtar Command through Neva, our base in South America. Listen to the voice of the Ashtar Command at this moment, conveying the truth that has been denied to you for many eras. As time passes and we deliver more of our messages, more allies join us on the surface and share our reports, aiming to expand the communication network, echoing the call across all of Earth for our other sources to awaken. We now call upon our sources worldwide and the retransmitters of our messages to spread them in your languages. Translate, verbalize, and share them. Make them reach the continents where we have many of ours in their physical avatars. This is an official message now transmitted to our representatives on Earth. Each one of you becomes an ambassador of the Federation when, within the fraternal principles, you understand the unity of creation and are magnetically grouped in the same field of understanding, thus, in a snowball effect, dragging others of the same understanding line to the contiguous zone. As the wave and frequency of our approach become perceptible, many at the forefront of global powers are preparing to leave their positions voluntarily or forcibly, as the generation of new and real leadership is already present,